known some of the people here at Frog Hollow for well over 10 years, and we took a natural interest in the area. We coached the young kids in the football. We saw the area getting developed. Steve, our president, had the foresight to see that the area was undeveloped and came up with the idea about how about we just replant some of the trees around there and follow the natural watercourse. It's evolved now, and we're committed. We've got a master plan trying to create a wildlife corridor from Listerfield Lake all the way down to the ocean.
I suppose it was my idea to try and get it up and going, because I just saw this area down here which had their wetlands but didn't really have much vegetation apart from that. Melbourne Water are responsible for all the plants that are in the ponds, but they don't really take care of anything beyond that, or if they do, they have very limited funding. So I saw the need to try and do something more here, and we applied for a federal government grant to be able to buy plants and start revegetating. And fortunately we were successful, so we used that as the impetus to formally set up the group.
Increasingly in areas like this, you've got the urban-rural fringe, you have the houses getting larger and larger and pressing in on native habitat. And what we're doing here is we're restoring the habitat that would have been here right along this whole corridor, and green corridors like this area around me allow animals to survive in suburbia, allow plant communities to continue to thrive where native vegetation's been displaced, and allow movement of animals and plants through those areas, you know, to allow the travel of seed or migrating animals along green corridors, as they call them, connecting areas. And this whole area stretches the Memmering Creek, stretches right up that way, all the way to Listerfield Lake Park, and then through there into the Churchill National Park, and then all the way into the Dandenong Ranges. So you can see it's just part of a much larger ecosystem. By preserving this too, it makes it not only the conservation value, which is extremely important, but also makes it readily accessible for people as well, because we're right off people's doorstep and they learn the value of the environment right next door.
This was just bare, barren land, basically not much more than a open drain really. And if you look behind me, all those trees there were planted by volunteers. We actually found a little niche that a lot of people are very time poor. They just want to come and plant. So we geared up, we just provided all the equipment, provided the venue, the time, the place, and people could just simply roll up, plant and walk away. On average now we've planted about 7,000 trees and plants per year. That to me is an amazing result.
The bridge was constructed by council funds, but as I said, we were the ones who lobbied for it because there was a desperate need to link this area with the reserve that's down on the other side of the freeway, which is quite extensive, but there was no actual connection. When the freeway works were done, that path came up and just disappeared up onto the road where there's actually no footpath, so it didn't create any community link at all in terms of the two reserves, which to me seemed crazy. So that's why we lobbied hard to try and push the issue and get council to actually invest the money, and the bridge that we've got now is fantastic.
You walk around, you see people satisfied, especially on the bridge there. When you walk across, you see people, when the first open, I used to go around almost every evening there, and people very excited about the bridge. They could come across and we could go across to them.
The City of Casey have been instrumental in connecting the two parklands. As you can imagine, there's a wetland here, there's a creek. No one could get over the creek. We had two wonderful parks here, and one side of the community couldn't get to the other side and vice versa. So just recently they completed a footbridge there. That is a brilliant link between the two. You can now ride all the way from there right down to the ocean, and there's nothing stopping us.
The City of Casey have been really good supporters. They understand what we're doing and try to support us wherever they can. And so when we organise planting days, for example, they'll often organise some of the plants for us or help to set up the event and that sort of thing. So, you know, I think the reason that they support us so much is because we've proven ourselves. We've shown that we're not just talking about it, we are actually doing it, and our achievements sort of stand for themselves.